Not every destroyer of World War II was a masterpiece. Some were plagued by design flaws, poor stability, or outdated doctrine that doomed them before they even fired a shot. Let's look at 5 classes of destroyers that carried great ambitions, but turned into floating disasters. The Fubuki was revolutionary in the 1930s. Heavy 5-inch dual-purpose guns and turrets, the deadly Type 93 long-lance torpedoes, and speeds of 35 knots made it the most advanced destroyer of its time. But innovation came at a price. Added weight from upgrades crippled stability. Their anti-submarine warfare was almost non-existent, and cramped space left little room for new weapons. What began as a game-changing design soon became outdated by the very war it helped start. Built for convoy protection, the Hunt class traded firepower for stability and endurance. With just 4 4-inch guns and no torpedoes, it couldn't challenge enemy surface ships. Speed topped at 28 knots, barely enough to keep up. But in the Atlantic, stability mattered more than speed. The Hunts were excellent submarine hunters, tough in rough seas, but their light armament and short range meant they were locked into a single role. Escorts only, never fleet destroyers. The Italian Soldati destroyers looked impressive on paper with 5 120mm guns and high speeds near 39 knots. But poor fire control made their gunnery slow and inaccurate. Anti-aircraft defenses were almost non-existent, and endurance was just 2,200 nautical miles, too little for long missions. In rough seas, their slender hulls suffered badly, and without strong sonar or depth charges, they were helpless against submarines. They were built for surface duels, but the war demanded versatility, and the Soldati couldn't adapt. The Mogadors were among the fastest destroyers ever built, hitting an incredible 43 knots. Armed with heavy 138mm guns, they were meant to chase down enemies with overwhelming speed. But speed killed them. Poor stability, short range, and unreliable fire control turned them into liabilities. With no sonar, almost no anti-aircraft guns, and fuel for barely 2,000 miles, they were fast, but fragile. In reality, they were sprinters in a marathon war. The German Type 1936. A Narvik destroyers mounted massive 150mm guns, bigger than most cruisers. On paper, terrifying. In practice, they were slow-firing, unreliable, and made the ships dangerously top-heavy. Range was poor, machinery unreliable, and stability dreadful. Anti-submarine and anti-air defenses were minimal, making them vulnerable to everything from submarines to aircraft. The Narviks tried to be battleships in destroyer form, and ended up failing at both. These destroyers prove a harsh truth of naval warfare. Raw speed or giant guns don't win wars. Balance does. Each of these classes taught painful lessons in stability, endurance, and adaptability. Because in World War II, the sea punished designs that looked powerful but weren't ready for reality.